bit of fun instead of me just talking the whole time about the project. Um, you're going to have to do a presentation. So we gave you the PowerPoint slides, and we're showing you examples of how you can find some different information. And then you're going to be standing up in the classroom that we met last weekend and putting those PowerPoint slides up and putting your own information in it to talk about how you have identified that problem in the Amity University website and how you have come up with a better solution. Now, we don't want you doing what in this video that we are about to show you, all right? And we're going to have Dr. Howarth here, Mike Howarth, explain a little bit about the right way to do things. So let me introduce Mike. Do you want to just say hello? And I think I can make you bigger here. I think I can make you, let's see, spotlight for everyone. There we go.
Ah,
All
well,
right.
okay. Can you hear me all right? Is the sound okay?
Perfect.
Hello, everybody. It's Thursday afternoon, 4 o'clock, 4:30 nearly. But it's a a pleasure to be with you and to give you just a little flavor of some of the things that I've learned when I have been presenting to on radio and on television as well, which is my background, and show you some of the tricks of the trade, if you like. And I've got various things here, so I can talk to this camera here and make very special points. I can also show you really close up how to use your iPhone. I'm hoping to do this at some point. And then I've got some tips here, which you're seeing those the right way around, aren't you, Skip?
Yep, that's perfect, Mike.
These are some of the things that I want to talk about how to practice speaking, and a little bit about PowerPoint layout too. Okay, so uh, Skip and I have been working together for quite a long time, and we created this video, and I'm sure that you know most of these points on the video, but we're going to play it again because we haven't seen it for a while. It was a couple of years ago when a lot of lecturers were just starting and didn't know, you know, what PowerPoint was or what Zoom or Teams was. And so let's have a look at how not to do things first.
Okay.
Not
So I'm gonna share the screen again. All right, because I realized that you didn't actually have to share the screen there, Mike. So students, this is your task, okay? Listen carefully. When you see something that you think is a mistake, which is bad for your presentation, we want you to write the bad thing you see here. So in the text chat, when they make a mistake, when they do something wrong in the video, write down what you think it is. I think it was something like 8 or 9 things we saw, Mike. So so we'll see if you can guess what they're doing bad, and you're going to write that down in there and see if you can get all 8 or 9 things. Now, you're going to be talking in person, but what Mike is suggesting as well is that before you do the real talk, you can make a video of yourself practicing the talk. So the the first time you actually do the presentation is with your study partners, not during the assessment. All right, are you guys ready? Okay, I'm going to ask, are you ready? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. How many of you are awake there? Give me a thumbs up. or say yes. No, there is nothing that maybe Mr. Mike has great presentations techniques. No, 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 no. We haven't shown you the video yet.
Thanks.
Not from what Mike has said. We're going to show you the bad video. Okay. So who is ready? Give me thumbs up. We need to see some people participating here. Okay, guys, we need to see you responding. Not just Shubham. Come on, give me a thumbs up, people. Jaspreet, Nickten, come on. Let's go. There we go. All right, now we got a few people waking up here. Jaspreet, well done. Okay, sometimes they're a little pinky. Very good. Okay. Okay, here we go, Mike. We're going to play the video, which is showing us what not to do. This is what we're calling behaving badly. All right, here we go. And bad boys, what you gonna do? Good morning, Mike.
Morning, Skip. What we're doing with this Ukiza thing then?
Well, it's about engagement. You know, when you're working online.
You mean you're going to get married soon? What's all this engagement
stuff? No. Eye contact. You know, looking people in the eye, that sort of thing.
What's eye contact about? I mean,
well, we can talk about that.
Oh well, all right. I suppose we might as well.
Yeah, there's screen performance. We gotta talk about that stuff.
I'm a teacher. I'm not a presenter.
You have to do it. Admin says so. That it's easy. It's just like being in the classroom, and the software does all the work for you.
Can we stop? I'm all zoomed out, frankly.
Hang on. We got the best bit now. Here I'm going to be talking about this online self-assessment tool, and don't moan. It'll help improve the teaching presence.
All right. Okay. See you in a while then. Engagement, performance, online presence, self-assessment. I feel the burden. Do you see my shorts?
Yep.
We don't want to overdo it, do we, Skip?
What you gonna do when they come for you, bad boys, bad boys. Okay. So, students, I'm glad to see Shubham realizes that this is supposed to be funny, right? This is not the right way to do it. That's good. So either put on your microphone if you want to talk, or put in the text box what was something we did wrong, like you shouldn't be doing for the presentation. That you've got to do in a month. In a month, you're going to stand up and do a presentation. Are you going to be like Mike or me? What was wrong? What was bad about that? Go ahead and put something in for us. See if we can get some answers. What was bad? Can just type it, or you can put your microphone. Go ahead.
It was good. It was good for the entertainment or purposes, but not for professional, I think. But now we are in a professional, so it will be good for by doing professionally all the things. Like now, Mr. Mike has a lot of cameras and many things. They are doing good, and it is a very good presenting technique now. But it is the kind of video is a very uh, good for entertainment as well.
Oh, okay. It's meant to be funny. You're right. Yeah. And what Mike is doing here is the right way. But what was one thing that he did wrong in the funny video? What's one mistake? What's one mistake that he made? What do you think? Pinky, what do you think? To turn on your microphone and tell us one thing that you think, Jaspinder, what's one thing that he did wrong? When you were watching it, did you see, was he doing like you said,
like wearing shorts maybe?
Yeah, like you're That's yeah, that was he was not even dressed properly, was he? Like you said, Shubham, you know, we should be professional in there. Okay?
Yes,
We
sir.
should be professional. So you don't want to just wear your regular clothes when you do the presentation. You know, you want to dress up, you want to look, pretty, pretty business-like, right? So that's a good thing. All right. Anything else? What do you guys think? Was there now Jaspinder said it was good, okay? But what mistake, Jaspinder, did he make? What was he doing? Did you notice did you notice a sandwich in his hand? Did you notice some food in his hand?
Yes, sir. We noticed
Yeah,
food and
this was not good, I
uh,
think.
Hold on a second. Let's get some
This
different
was not
people.
good.
What what's not good?
And the cookies he was eating.
It, Mike, did it taste good?
It was very good. It was my wife's cooking.
So, so what are you saying? Uh, uh, but what do you want him to do?
I want to say that
Gursurak.
it was bad thing for eating something in the presentation.
Yeah, Mike. So what do you say about that? You know, it's okay to eat a sandwich when you're talking.
Well, no, completely not. I mean, this is how to, unless you're making a joke, you're being funny,
Oh,
but
that's fine.
you must never eat. And
yes, sir. It is fine for entertainment, but you showed us for the
If
entertainment
we are
purpose,
doing
not
it
for professionally.
professional,
But
yeah.
uh, it was good, like as an entertainment purpose.
yeah, yes, I mean, right from the beginning, there was a whole range of errors. Shall I talk about those, Anthony, or shall we get some more identifications?
No,
What
go ahead and talk
okay,
us through, Mike. Tell
yeah,
us what was wrong and what we could do to make it better.
yeah. Um, Now, okay, so I'm just going to get you to look at my sketches here, and I just started to make a few notes on my pad here. Can you see those? Are those clear for everybody? Yeah.
Yep.
So I did a sketch here to show what one
Yes,
problem.
the half face of our professor.
Yeah.
Like this. You mean like this?
Yes, that's it.
Yes,
Uh,
sir. Yes, sir. That's
and so, you do not want to be looking at people like this out of a screen, not like Anthony is doing at the moment, because that is, you just look funny, don't you, or careless, and so on. So how do you position yourself um, at the computer now? And Anthony is working at home, and this is normal, really. It's very tricky to it's okay to do this when you're just you're just having a seminar and so on, but if you are presenting, you really need to and in fact, I'm do try to do things properly and to demonstrate, and this is like almost the way you have to be. If you have a bit of space here but a lot of space down here, and instead of being in the middle of the picture, now I disagree with you, Anthony, here. I'm at one side. Okay. Now it's possible that you could have some information here on your presentation. It might be, if you're doing it live, okay, and you're in the room, that's what everybody will be doing. Will it be, Skip?
Yep.
Anthony?
Yep. They'll have the
Okay.
screen in back. Yep.
Right, right. One of the things you obviously don't do is be in front of the screen, But you have to be aware that if the screen comes here and you are actually being recorded, that the shadow of the projector goes on your face and makes it look really silly. So it's best to organize yourself at one side of the presentation and to organize yourself so that you know actually what the slides are when they come up, so you don't have to keep looking behind you, for example. You look behind you like that. Now, that's just one of the ideas. And obviously, if I was wearing a tie and I would look great. And the other thing is not to move around too much as well. That's one thing. And I have a little, I have a stool here, just a little stool instead of a big chair, so I can move around a little like that. But I try and stay in one place all the time. So we begin to build up some good ideas, and I think that probably starts us off.
So Mike, in the classroom, Mike, there's a computer on one side of the screen, and the screen is in the middle, and then there's space on the other side. So
Yeah.
what could they do? Like, because each person in the group is going to be saying a little bit about the presentation. So what would you recommend for something like that?
Oh, I see. You mean like people talking about in sequence?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like
Okay.
Jaspreet might, be saying something about slide numbers 1, 2, and 3, and then
Sure.
Pinky might say something about 4, 5, 6, like that.
Yeah. Well, I think at that point, I think that is very good, because we've filmed quite a few of these sessions, and it's the changeover that's a bit tricky, and probably in I suppose the way we do it in business is that you all know what you're going to talk about. We'll discuss that in a minute. But the sequence is that, say I'm here, you've done your bit, and you say I'm handing over to, and you move out of the way and get out of the way, as it were, and then the other person comes here, and so they're all lined up, but they don't make they do it quickly, and they do it smoothly with a smile, and you come in, you join in, and I mean, it's not as if they're, the joke is that you're out of the door, and you come around the door and say, oh right, it's my turn next. No,
Yeah.
you don't do things like that, but you make a changeover, and you do it smoothly, and you get straight on with the next key point that you want to talk about.
How do they know, Mike, what words to say? Is it just thinking off their head, or how would you
Yeah.
make sure that the information that from the learning outcomes we were talking about gets said out loud?
There was a big point that I'm sure you all observed in our behaving badly, is that we were not at all prepared. We didn't have a script. We did. We worked out very carefully what we were going to do, but we appeared not to have got anything planned. And obviously, you will be doing that, and you will have your PowerPoint ready. But if we look at the PowerPoint here, and look at the various things we're talking about, I mean, I'm moving into my section now properly. I think it's very important that you do realize that even people who are very practiced and very experienced, first of all, write down what they're going to say. You actually write down exactly what you want to say. and this is very useful for certainly politicians and so on. And if Script and I were doing a formal presentation at a lecture, everything would be prepared. Now, the way this is done, let me just see if I can actually show you this. Let's just try it like this. I'm going, this is a script of mine, okay, for another job I was doing. One of the ways is you write this out, and I'll go straight to the main point. And then what you do is you put it underneath your camera on your laptop. Now, this could be, if you're online, you can do this and nobody knows. Nobody knows that bit of paper is there. So I can read out, I can just read out this. I mean, I'm just going to do it now. I was glad when Auntie Susan and her friend Gloria turned up. Their talk is very metropolitan and daring, and so on. This is a jokey story as well, by the way, somebody called The Growing Pains of Adrian Mole. But anyway, I can read that out, and it sounds as if I'm really practiced and I know all about it. So that's one of the things to do.
Now, Mike, when you did that, you were reading the paper, but it looked like you were looking at me, the audience, that, you were making eye contact with me. Is that important? Do you want to have people
yes.
looking at them?
Yeah, and that is, if you're doing live, obviously you can't spend your time looking down at this and read off it. You've got to practice it, and the way you do that is reading it out loud. Actually, I'll come on to that in a minute. But it's normal on television. Everybody is doing this. You think, all of you, if you're struggling to do your presentation, it's a good idea to recognize that all the people you're watching on television are all reading. Nobody's really, apart from people who are interviewed on the street or talking just informally, but everybody is doing this. So everybody is going through this, and they have special equipment called an auto cue, which this is my iPhone here, by the way. You can get an auto cue for free on your iPhone, where the text scrolls up like that, and you could read it. But you could play around with this, but I think it's very important that nobody actually expects anybody to do a presentation straight away without practicing it and doing it properly. So don't feel bad about it. We all do it. And okay, so Skip, shall I just go on to how you can do that practicing?
Yes, please, because we're asking the students to make the slides a little bit while we're working on each week, but while they're making it, they can be practicing the bits that they're going to say.
Right. So what you do, for example, I mean, if we go and look at here, is that you should really try and write a few big words on the page so everyone can read it. That's one of the size of text on the right there I'm talking about. I'm trying to practice. There's only a few words and they are big, so everybody can read them. But that's one idea. Another idea is you say, you start off with a sentence which begins, write what you want to say first, and then rewrite it if it's not okay. Again, this is absolutely what we do. If you write something and present it and you're not happy with it, you change it. You just say, oh, I'm terrible. I can't get it perfect. Nobody's expecting you to be perfect each time. So rewriting is essential. Now, the other point that you should do is read out aloud. And this is, I really do want you to get that sense of how powerful you can become by rewriting and reading out aloud. Okay? As long as you don't wave your hand about in the air like this while you're doing it, because I'm very too close to the camera. But I mean, I'll read this another piece of this. This is about life in an English home. This is a bit. Yes, okay. This is funny. Okay, all right. Believe with me. The turkey was okay, but it could have been better if the plastic bag with all the guts of the turkey had been taken out first before cooking. I really better not go because it's a bit naughty from there. But I mean, you see your practice of this, and you get better of it, and you add a joke. Sorry, I'm just going to flick the other camera. You add a joke, and you see, as you can see, Anthony, I do like to do that. It's quite good to have something that people can laugh about. But I am sitting here in my office. Would you believe that people would actually spend their time doing that? Here is the iPhone, okay, and that I am sitting here, and I'm practicing, and I'm doing it over and over again. Okay, I'm actually recording on the video, and I'm watching myself on the video. Now, I think you're doing this all the time, but now you're doing it for real, and you're doing it seriously. Okay, and this will help. Behaving like this and practicing like this will help you get better marks, frankly.
Oh, absolutely, Mike. Yeah.
You're saying. So I need to. One thing here, which I've got is on the thing, is okay. Would you believe that walking around while you read out a script is something that people actually do? Well, they do. I could be walking up and down the room here, reading out aloud, and then changing the words around. And by the way, there is another thing here, which I just finally, I think I better stop now. Can you read that? Is it the right way around, that?
It's not the right camera.
Oh, sorry. I'm getting mixed up with my cameras. Right. Is that?
Oh, it's
right
backwards.
It's backwards. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What shall I do?
You'd have to do it in a mirror, I think.
Yeah. Let me try doing it like this. Okay. I'm going to do it right now. Do you see it, the writing now, folks?
Yep, that's the right way. Yep.
You see what I've got here? Some words, I'm putting a line here. A line.
Oh, yeah,
now
yeah.
That's a pause. And so a line is a pause. I was glad. Now, glad is underlined. Okay. Now that is the stress on the word. Okay. I was glad when Auntie Susan and her friend Gloria turned up. Okay.
Okay. So Mike, can you read it just a normal? Everything is the same pace and boldness, and then read it with the marks so we can see the comparison.
I was glad when Auntie Susan and her friend turned up. Their talk was very metropolitan and daring, and Gloria is dead glamorous. Okay.
See, that sounds
Well,
boring and monotonous.
it is what people do, and why not? Normally. But what we're doing now is we're presenting. So what we do is we take we use slow, and this is what actors do. I mean, we're talking about experts here. You just take a few of their ideas, and you can improve your presentation really well. So instead of saying, I was glad when Auntie Susan and her friend Gloria turned up, you say, I was glad when Auntie Susan and her friend Gloria turned up. Okay.
Right.
So
so there, and you want them to record that so they can hear themselves.
Absolutely. Now this will be painful. Has everybody got their hands up? If I'd say that this is a painful process. Is that right? I've been talking quite a lot for a while.
Yes, sir.
Do you think it's painful to do what I'm suggesting?
No, it's not painful. I think it is interesting way to do this.
Well, I just like to be sure that it is painful. Nobody really likes doing it, but everybody who is the top managers, the top politicians, and everybody else in the country who is in power usually has someone like me by their side practicing all of this, and they have to walk up and down and remember each phrase and and it's all part of their life. And when you get the hang of it, of course, it gets quite easy. When you've practiced it a bit, but just trying it out a little bit and enjoy doing it and see how you get so much better at it. Can I just say something, Skip?
Oh yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
I am really, I have taught for many years, and most of the time, I am so impressed by the students who are speaking 2 languages. I can't speak 2 languages. Are hopeless, useless. Some of the students I've had speak 3 languages because they're speaking English, they're speaking what their parents' language, and they're translating for their grandparents in their dialect. And that, I think, if you could speak 2 languages, you can do this easily.
Well, Sunil is agreeing with you. In the text chat, he's saying this is a helpful way to improve ourselves. So, Mike, I think you're getting the message across that it may not start sounding really good. It may not be perfect, like we mentioned in the beginning with Shubham saying, we want it to be a professional business talk. But each week, if you do a little bit, you can practice with us in the class, and we can then give you some comments on how we might improve. So we don't expect you to just do the presentation once at the end, and that's all you have to do. We want it to be step by step, like the Mike's tips there. Now you mentioned something else in those slides, Mike, about the text or something in the
Right. Okay. Let's just look at sorry. Let's just look at this again. I'll just go and look at some of these other points about the presentation. I've mentioned about the size of text, okay, and I mentioned about just a few words. A few words are more powerful and have more impact and do more things for people and help them communicate your ideas if there's just a few special words. Pictures help. Okay, let's just have a look at pictures.
Well, hold on, Mike, before you go to pictures. So on the slide, do you want all the words that they're saying? So they're just reading the words from the slide. Is that how you want it?
Absolutely not. You know, you shouldn't, because if you do that, you are looking away at the, like I'm looking here. You are looking at the screen instead of making eye contact with the audience.
Okay.
They don't like that, and it's boring too, and it's something that, you know, nobody does. If you wrote all your script on PowerPoint and then printed it out and then took 5, you know, say 4 words from your what you wanted to write on the screen, and just use those 4 or 5 words on the screen, now that is clever. That will make people, I mean, even if you wrote all your PowerPoint out that you wanted, PowerPoint, printed it out and held it in your hand and then glanced down to it, that's so much better, isn't it, than looking at the screen like that. I think that's a good point, Skip. I'd forgotten about that. Do you want to look at just
We can use the split screening as well.
Say it again, please.
We can use split screening as well, like 2 screens in the one screen, two parts in the one screen.
Yes, absolutely. I'm keeping it simple at the moment. But if you have a split screen, you know, you have to have, it's more important that you have just a few words, because people can't, you know, they can't see it at the back of the class, and they certainly can't see it online too, by the way. You know, a lot of text on a online presentation is actually tricky. Shall we just look at the pictures?
Yes,
yes.
They're in their assessment. They're supposed to have some charts and some diagrams. So how do they put the pictures into the PowerPoint? What should they do for that?
Well, I mean, this is something that the way I look at it is, all right, if you use PowerPoint, I don't think we've got time to explain how to do it in PowerPoint, but the very fact that you try and make a picture makes you think about the subject matter, makes you think about the ideas you're putting across. So this is about an innovation model. Now, in PowerPoint, I think all these students know that all of those bits on there are separate bits that have been added with the text on top. The text might be a bit small here, I think, in my view, but this is about information coming through a funnel, I do believe, with the different points that that people want to make about the market and the base information and the various things like that. So the idea of talking to a picture and explaining a diagram about a company is much more interesting as well. And the thing that I like doing, and this is because I am do quite a lot of video, is to use PowerPoint like a storyboard. So the first storyboard, the first PowerPoint you draw out, you may print the pages out, like or draw sketches like this here in this drawing here, and that's the way you start thinking about what I'm going to do. Where you're going to put the text in the different pages. You've got, you know, where you're going to put someone's face there, or make these look simple and interesting, and you then move them around. I think it is quite, I think one definite point is that your first PowerPoint that you do doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to stay like that. You can move things around, moving pages or screens around in order, changing the order, is really good. I mean, you know, the whole idea of moving all of this. In fact, Skip, these ideas here, while you were talking, I was looking at the words that you'd been working on, and I thought, well, you've done all of that, so I'm just going to shove all these ideas down here, and on the side of the page, I think you can see that. This was probably small. I just moved all these around, and actually, when I do this, I'm not sure I can do this. No, I can't break it into different parts, but you could do if you wanted to. So it is very flexible, and you can use use PowerPoint like a practice presentation, a way to present.
Brilliant, brilliant, Mike. That's so helpful because this is something that we call self-assessment. So that means that you are looking at your practice and then deciding what part is good and what part is bad. Just like when we looked at the funny video, we looked at that and we were able to identify which bits were the mistake in the video so that we could do it over and make it better. And that's not just about the talking, but also, like you're saying, about the way the slides are designed, where the pictures go, where the words go, how many words we put. And that's something that we want to encourage all the students to do going into the presentation. Don't wait till the end. We've only got just a couple minutes left here. So, Mike, I don't know if like you would have like the top 3 tips or something like that. If you were about to go and do a business presentation where after you made the presentation, the investor might give you money, what 3 things would you say you would really want to make sure the students do?
I would write down what I wanted to say in spoken English, not a sentence as I was writing it, and the way I'd like to speak it. That's special. I'd write it I'd then type it out, okay, and I'd make big spaces between, so I can write in between it, and then I would walk up and down and read it and change it until it was absolutely perfect. And then I would choose the pictures to go with the key parts of the story or the PowerPoint page. I would then choose the PowerPoint pages. And when I got the PowerPoint pages, done what they look like, I would then walk up and down looking at the PowerPoint and practice and practice and practice until it was absolutely perfect.
Excellent. I'm just making these notes for us. All right.
If you send me the video, I'll transcribe it. And then I'll list all the points again for the
Fantastic.
students.
Okay. So those are the top 3 tips, guys, from the expert, Dr. Mike Howarth, who was working for years in many different projects like this that you're going to be doing, and has professional experience from the BBC. So please listen to what he's saying and try to put that into practice for our assessment. I'm going to stop the recording here.
Can I just let everybody know that what I'm doing? I know you're trying to stop me going on too much, but I think everybody, all of you folk, you're looking at the future when you're looking at this setup, and it's all done by this gadget here. All right, this is a TV studio control box. And it's only as big. It's not as big as this piece of paper. It's not as big as half a piece of paper. All right. This is controlling all the cameras, all the components. All right, there. Okay, and it's working down here. Now, you haven't got all that, but I'm sure in the future it will be very, very common. and it's a privilege to you know show this to you and help you on your way to the future.
Well, I think you know, from some of the notes in the text chat, I think it's you know, showing us, you know, how creative we are, and you know, how this is helpful to improve ourselves. So Mike, with that, I'm going to stop the video and say thank you very much. And guys, if you can say any comments of thanks to Mike in the text chat, you know, we would appreciate that.
Goodbye, everybody. What a pleasure.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so much, sir. It was
It was very
helpful.
helpful.
Thank you. Thank you.